Gotta wash your eyes out, puppy love. Gotta wash your eyes out, puppy love. Hey, mama. There's mama. There's a baby. There's Daisy May. There's Odie. The white one is Odie. And that little brown and white one is the wee one, the runt. See the difference in the size? And this is Miss Daisy. Come to show you folks, and I didn't bring my tripod, so I'm not sure how this is going to work. I'm right here next to the bog. As you can see, it's still pretty high. But right here, I've got the remnants of Jerusalem artichokes. Now they're leaning. I'm 5'6", and they're another 4 or 5 feet taller than I am to where that blossom was. There's another one right there. They're a very tall plant because they're in good soil here anyway. But last winter when I was sick, I showed you how difficult it was to forage in the wintertime. So now, if I can get in here, this is what the stalk looks this time of year. These are the dead stalks. They're pretty woody. Might be able to burn them, I don't know. But I'm going to pull this up here, and I am going to show you what a Jerusalem artichoke looks like in the early spring. So I'll pause here and I'll come back. Alright, sorry, I had to turn the phone around. So I just pulled that up. It's pretty easy to pull up in the spring because everything is wet, right? So here are the Jerusalem artichokes. There's one. That's a medium-sized one, I guess. Here's a bigger one right there. That's a bigger one. And there's another one. There's a lot on a rootstock, folks, okay? And these are really good for diabetics to use as a potato because it doesn't affect diabetes. It doesn't turn into sugar, right? Like most carbs do, like potatoes turn into sugar, right? So let me shake this. Yeah. So there's another one. Another one. Now in the spring, they are going to be dark like this. When they are fresh tubers in the fall, they'll be white like an inside of a potato, or maybe like a Yukon Gold color potato. But that's all that came out of the root. Now I know there's another one there. I'm just going to pile them down here in the leaves. If I were to dig down where I just pulled them up, there's a little tiny one. We're going to put that back in the ground. If I were to dig down in here a good foot, there'd be a whole lot more. But what I like to do, you never harvest them all, right? You never harvest them all. There's another, I'll put that one back in. So they're a little bumpy, and I will clean these off and I will show you what they look like. But see, there's even more down in there. So, oh, that's what they're going to look like in the fall right there. Okay? like that. Maybe a little lighter. But if I kept digging down in here, I'm going to find a whole lot more, folks. See, there's another one sticking up, and another one right there. But I don't need to dig them up. I'm just wanting some for a meal for tomorrow. So what I do is I stick them back in the ground. You don't even have to be fussy. Okay? And that stalk can go in the compost pile. See, there's another one, a little tiny one that I pulled out of the ground. And another one. So I'll just dig a hole, cover it up, just like that. Because I've got them planted here and there. My cucumbers were there, another batch. I got another one over there. So this is what the Jerusalem artichoke looks like. I cut it in half and I peeled it and I took a slice off there, and it is so sweet, folks. It's very nutty. And see, I come up with something in my hands, and the birds think I have a treat for them. Well, they've had several treats today. I gave them some treats when I got home, and I gave them some treats before I went to work. There's a little wee one. And a guinea or two. So the geese see something white in my hand and they think it's bread. I don't think you like this. I don't think you like it. You want to try it? Yeah, they don't like it. So that's a Jerusalem artichoke, folks. I gotta watch where I'm stepping. Look at all the poop. Jerusalem artichoke. It's also called a sunchoke. Now, I'm not really sure. I know Maine years ago used to have wild artichokes here, well, the sunchoke, and they became wild after the homesteads, right? The homesteads would plant them, and then they just spread on their own, right? So I don't know why I'm pointing you at the ground. Is that for those people with diabetes, the Jerusalem artichoke, even though it's sweet, it does not turn to sugar. Okay, it goes right straight through the system. It doesn't turn into sugar, so you're getting something to eat that is pretty safe. Now, to buy Jerusalem artichokes, you can buy them by the tuber, or you can buy them by the pound. They're rather expensive, folks. But if you know of somebody in your local area that wouldn't mind parting with some, I would strongly encourage you to ask them. Or you can just purchase some, but, you know, I'm just going to let you know right now, once you've got them, folks, okay? And that's good, because that's free food that's going to spread all on its own, right? And it's a tall plant, and it looks like, well, it looks like miniature sunflowers. It is part of the sunflower family. So, I'm still chewing. It is part of the sunflower family, folks, so it looks quite a lot like a sunflower plant. The leaves don't get as big as on a sunflower, though, but the leaves get about the size of maybe like a miniature sunflower, and the flower heads get about the same. They're really pretty, folks. They're really pretty, and they're pretty hardy. They'll withstand the wind. I showed you the stalk. It's almost like wood. It's almost like you can burn it. So that's one thing that I would encourage you folks to get your hands on and plant them. They like full sun, though. Okay, they like full sun, but they don't. it really doesn't matter the soil. They'll grow in just about any soil. I've had them in the porous dirt imaginable, and they still grew. And I've had them in very soggy soil, and they still grew and provided tubers. But, so, you know, it's going to be up to you where you put them. But it needs full sun no matter what soil you put them into, okay? So like I said, they'll come back year after year, and they'll each tuber has a bump, right? Every one of those bumps will give you another plant. So there's a lot of bumps on those tubers. But what I do is I just put the whole tuber in the ground, or I cut the tuber in half and then I throw it in the ground. That's what I do. So that's something to look forward to, maybe. If you have a homestead or a place that in a sunny spot with porous soil, just if you want to get some of them, it's just food you don't have to tend to, right? And if you want some, they're there, and year after year they will spread and spread and spread. So it makes a lovely plant, folks, and it's one that you can eat, right? You can eat the tubers. You saw just that one that I pulled up. I got a lot of tubers, and if I had dug down even further, there was probably at least that many more in the dirt right directly below. But they'll offshoot. They'll go off to the side of the plant in the ground too, folks. So you're going to get, on a mature plant like that, in decent soil, which that is, because I made that soil, you can probably get 30 tubers, folks, the size that I dug out. All right. Now you can eat the peel. The peel is a little bit bitter. Okay, when they're young and the tuber itself doesn't have much flavor, the skin is bitter. So either way, I just peel mine. No matter what time of year, I just peel mine. So there you go, folks. There's one thing that you might want to think about planting. Planting and forgetting until your belly gets hungry or you want a treat, right? So, like I said, there's no care to them. You just put them in the ground and forget them. All right, and Jerusalem artichokes, okay, or sunchoke, S-U-N, choke. Sunchoke or Jerusalem artichoke, folks. It's just an old-time homestead plant. All right, and I keep finding that I put the camera up like that. Sorry, folks. Been a long day. I've been in the coop. I'm all stuffed up. It's really chilly out, folks. So I think I'm just going to do the rest of my chores and go in and sit by the fire for a minute and try to stay awake and greet another day tomorrow, right? All right, folks. Have a good evening. And when the plants start getting established this summer, I will go through all of this again so you can see the plant itself and the blossom. All right, folks. Thank you so much. Good night.